So reparations have a long history within the United States. I don't want people, I'm sure a lot of people hear this and think like, why should we pay these people? Like, this is blah, 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 blah. There's no precedence. There's so much precedence for this. So the reparations system has been established in the United States for quite a long time. None of them, I should say, ever equal what they should.
Yeah.
Never accomplish what they should, but
Weird.
yeah, it's still a practice. So Native Americans have received land and billions of dollars according to Bookings EDU. And a lot of those come in programs. They come in benefits. They don't come in like cash checks to these people, which is the what the survivors and the descendants are wanting, and the programs and the investments are what the government is wanting. So already you see a breaking in like how these reparations have been done, but not to close the wound for these people. But there were also internment camps. Those who were suffered from the Japanese internment camps, they received some reparations for the damages done to their buildings. And the United States was a key factor in passing the Marshall Plan that made Germany after World War II give compensations to Holocaust victims and descendants. So it's a very hypocritical thing where they're like, you know what you should do, Germany? You should do the right thing.
Yeah.
Us, we'll fake it, but like, you should totally do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's your money. You should give it to them. And so it's an interesting thing. Um, but what is important is that the average white family has 10 times the amount of wealth as the average black family, and white college graduates have over 7 times more wealth than black college graduates. There's a statistic that a white high school dropout can have more wealth than a black college graduate. Um, and I don't know if that's because that graduate got a degree in history and there's no jobs in history. Please choose
No.
STEM. Please choose STEM.
Yeah.
Um, but there's all these different prejudice, and there's been several commissions and researchers that have been a part of the specific massacre. And when they first did their commission in the early 2000s, the commission concluded that Tulsans lost what Black Tulsans lost $1.8 million of wealth in 1921. That's $27 million today that could be in the hands of descendants, that could be in the hands of many people and would support Tulsa. Who knows where Oklahoma would be if this community was allowed to grow and prosper as it was. And so there's so many things, that could be provided. And yet nothing has been done since that 2001 commission. Nothing. Experts have said this is what needs to be done, and politicians and the public have ignored it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I've got the Brookings deal pulled up and just sort of scrolling through it. And it's like, on one hand, I mean, this is sort of a long read. I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's a couple thousand words probably. And it goes through like a lot of history. I mean, people want to make this sound way more complicated than it really is. It's like we do all sorts. I mean, we have an extremely convoluted and complicated tax code that rewards people for like all sorts of things. It shifts money from one group to another group, that protects certain industries. That does. I mean, we do this stuff all the time. Like, we got lawyers and accountants and CPAs that like spend their entire careers, moving the piles of coin from one party to another, and we have all sorts of ways to like sort stuff out economically, until it comes to righting historic wrongs or helping a group of people that got a bad deal. Then suddenly it's like, well, the finger pointing starts, and like we suddenly can't figure out who's accountable or who is responsible or who can manage this. And so I just find that, so it's like, on one hand, it's very complicated, a lot of history. I mean, I've got the part pulled up about the New Deal, and how black folks were, or I had it pulled up, sorry, about how many black folks were excluded from that, and like there's all these instances. So it's like, on one hand, it's very complicated, but on another hand, it's extremely simple. Like, these folks got screwed,
Mhm.
don't have much, need a lot more, and we're just choosing not to help them. And we're
Yeah.
choosing to make up excuses why we can't help them.
And it's not like we're saying, I don't know, like there is historical research that can tell you exactly how much wealth these people lost. It's
Yeah,
not like they're looking into the darkness. This
right.
article has they missed out on like 2 acres and a mule. They missed out on these, or 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah,
You know, not not that kind of historian. I'm a 20th century historian, so I don't know that. But it's like they've missed out on this. They've missed out on the New Deal. They missed out on the GI Bill. They missed out on so many different moments that historians and economic experts can literally point to. So it's not this big, like, ambiguous circle. It is a
no.
solid linear line.